Have you ever felt invisible in a room full of voices? Like no matter how loudly you speak, no one truly hears you? What if I told you that the greatest power doesn't lie in speaking louder, but in mastering the art of silent influence, shaping the world around you without uttering a single word? Today, we dive deep into a secret that Nietzsche, one of history's most provocative philosophers, hinted at: the power of quiet command. This is not about manipulation or deception. It's about harnessing a profound inner force, the kind that unsettles others without confrontation, commands respect without demand, and shifts minds without debate. If you've ever struggled to assert yourself, felt overshadowed, or sensed your words falling on deaf ears, this video is for you. Because silence isn't absence, it's presence. Let's begin by confronting a truth many avoid. Speaking more does not equal being heard. Our culture, obsessed with noise and volume, mistakes talking for influence. But Nietzsche, in his exploration of power and human nature, challenges us to rethink this. He writes about the will to power, not merely domination, but the deeper urge to shape reality in subtle, profound ways. Often, this will is expressed not in loud declarations, but in quiet confidence. Imagine the ancient Greek agora, a bustling marketplace of ideas. Plato sat quietly, letting others speak, but when he did speak, his words rippled with authority. Why? Because he cultivated presence beyond speech. Machiavelli, the master of political strategy, observed that sometimes silence can be a weapon sharper than the sword. Those who speak less often, reveal less, hold more cards, and control the narrative from behind the scenes. But what does this really mean for you in your daily life? How do you cultivate this silent influence, and why does it matter? First, it starts with self-awareness. Nietzsche believed that to influence others, you must first master yourself. That means understanding your fears, your insecurities, and the unconscious habits that sabotage your presence. Too often, we rush to fill silence with noise, anxious to prove our worth or defend our views. But every time you interrupt your own silence with needless words, you lose power. Consider this: when you're truly comfortable with silence, it forces others to step into the void you create. They feel compelled to fill the space, revealing more than they intended. Like a master chess player, you don't reveal your strategy early. Instead, you watch, listen, and let the pieces fall where they may. This approach isn't passive. It's active restraint. Let's tell a story. There was a leader, known for his minimal speech but overwhelming presence. His enemies underestimated him because he rarely raised his voice. But when he chose to act, his decisions changed the course of history. His power lay not in words, but in his ability to make silence speak volumes. This is the uncomfortable truth Nietzsche wanted us to see. Power and influence often arise from what is not said. Now, think about your own interactions. How often do you talk to cover discomfort, to mask uncertainty, or to chase approval? What if the key to commanding respect is learning when not to speak? Philosopher Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who lived under the shadow of Nazi Germany, teaches us another layer. His silence wasn't mere quiet. It was a moral stance, a deliberate choice to listen, reflect, and act with purpose. Influence without words can be a form of resistance, a silent power that shapes the future while others bluster in chaos. There's also a psychological dimension here. Carl Jung, a contemporary of Nietzsche's ideas, believed that the unconscious mind plays a huge role in how we perceive power. When someone exudes silent confidence, it resonates with a part of us that craves certainty and strength. Even without words, their presence speaks directly to our instincts, bypassing our rational defenses. This is why charismatic leaders don't always need speeches to move crowds. Their aura alone commands attention. Here's where it gets tricky. Society often rewards extroversion and verbal assertiveness, but Nietzsche invites us to challenge this norm. The quiet person, the observer, the thinker, they wield a hidden force. This power disrupts the expectation that influence is loud, direct, and visible. But beware. Silence can also be misunderstood. It can be mistaken for weakness, indifference, or avoidance. The art lies in balancing silence with presence, listening with intention, and speaking only when it amplifies your impact. Let's unpack some practical ways to cultivate this silent influence. Master your inner world. Begin by facing your own fears of silence. Are you afraid of being judged, ignored, or misunderstood? Accept those fears and observe them without reaction. Nietzsche called this self-overcoming, the highest form of personal power. Practice active listening. When others speak, truly listen. Don't prepare your reply. Absorb their words and energy. This builds deeper connection and makes your responses more impactful. Use body language deliberately. Your posture, eye contact, and stillness communicate more than you realize. The ancient Stoics believed the body is a canvas of the soul. Cultivate calm and confidence through your physical presence. Choose words with precision. When you speak, make it count. Avoid filler words or rushed replies. Let your words be measured, clear, and meaningful, a stark contrast to the noise around you. Embrace strategic pauses. Silence before and after speaking signals control and thoughtfulness. It makes others lean in, waiting to hear what you'll say next. Here's an unexpected twist. Sometimes the loudest person in the room is the most insecure. Nietzsche warns against the herd mentality, the tendency to conform, to shout over others for validation. Silent influence requires you to resist this impulse and find strength in solitude. But solitude doesn't mean isolation. It means cultivating a space where your thoughts and presence can flourish undisturbed. Plato's allegory of the cave reminds us that most people live in shadows, chained to noise and distraction. To break free, you must step into the light of self-possession, and that light often shines brightest in silence. We also need to recognize that silent influence isn't about control for control's sake. Machiavelli's insights teach that power without wisdom can lead to ruin. True influence must be grounded in ethical clarity and purpose. Use your silent power to inspire, to protect, to build, not to dominate or deceive. As we near the end, reflect on this. In a world flooded with chatter, your silence is a radical act. It's a space where true influence grows, unseen, yet undeniable. Nietzsche's call to embrace this power is a challenge to all of us who feel unheard, unseen, or overwhelmed. Your voice matters, but your presence matters more. So the next time you're tempted to speak just to be heard, pause. Remember that sometimes the most powerful words are those you never say. The silent power you cultivate can reshape your life, your relationships, and maybe even the world around you. Because true influence doesn't shout. It commands quietly, deeply, and forever. Thank you for watching. If this video resonated, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. And remember, the most profound power you'll ever have might just lie in your silence.